So I think we can start this video off by saying we live in a very crazy world right now.
Yeah.
All those affected by the coronavirus, COVID-19, our hearts go out to you, and I hope that everybody is staying safe, keeping safe, practicing social distancing, washing their hands, and staying healthy. Because that's, health is all we have, really. All we have is health and love. Happiness. In today's video, we are not sure what we're doing.
Oh, nice. I wanted to do myself a PIA versus Catriona video comparing their performances and sharing which part of their performances were my favorite. But I thought it'd be even more fun to do that, but get your opinion.
Yeah, I'm team Catriona. I can't be persuaded. I think for me it's gonna be hard to be persuaded in Pia's direction just because I saw Catriona in the flesh, in the skin.
Yeah.
And was like no more than like 10 or 15 feet away from her. And she's very breathtaking to say the least. All those women are. I feel like you like Pia more.
Well, I have a soft spot for Pia because Pia was passing the crown when I was competing at Miss Universe, right? And so I just saw her as such an inspiration when I was competing for Miss Universe Canada. When I was then competing for Miss Universe, I met Pia a couple of times, and we saw Catriona like in person, and she saw us. She waved at us, but we never actually met.
We're so honored.
She graced us with her wave.
Yeah, with her acknowledgement.
We didn't formally meet her, so I do have like, I feel like more of a connection, if you will, to Pia. In the same hand, in saying all that, I also feel connected to Catriona because when she was competing at Bini Bini, she was body shamed, and I posted about it on my Instagram stories, and then she messaged me and then started following me, and so we kind of messaged each other back and forth.
You?
Yeah.
Catriona?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, she used to. Let's see.
Oh my god. I'm impressed.
You didn't know this?
No. Well, maybe I did, but that's wild.
Really?
I think so. I mean, she has 9 million followers. She only follows 759. You guys have talked. She's replied to your stories.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that you have like this kind of personal tie connection to both of them, really. It's not like they're a couple of strangers.
Actually, I love them both for different reasons, right? And I think that there's a couple things that are different as well in terms of their reigns as Miss Universe. I feel like Pia's reign was more impactful and more powerful, and I think that part of that had to do with the actual organization, because I think that Pia did more, she went to more places, whereas I feel like Catriona, I don't want to say they wasted her potential, but I feel like she didn't do as much as she could have with the organization, and that's not her fault. So anyway, this isn't about my opinion, this is about your opinion.
Yeah, in like what I've seen, Pia was more like the people's champion, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know if that's
the first Miss Universe from the Philippines in many years too, right?
Yeah, it's just to add like the way that Pia was announced as the winner too, like how she got probably a lot more media attention and probably a lot more questions. Initially, like asked her kind of like how it went down, how she wasn't announced the winner, like what kind of emotions were going through her head. And from the content I've seen anyway, she handled all that really well.
Yes.
Because I'm guessing that would have been like
so hard,
so challenging, which made her like more likable to me anyway, and probably to many too.
Right. And then people had high expectations for Catriona to win, probably because like Pia had broken that seal as well, if you will, right?
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense.
We're gonna get right to their performances because I feel like we could like banter on and on.
Yeah. Because
when Catriona was called into the top 15, she got to give like a personal statement and Pia didn't. We're not gonna include that, so we're gonna go right into the swimwear competition because that's what they both would have done first. That was like equal footing.
Yeah.
Wow, Philippines is in the house.
I really like Pia with her hair up.
Yeah?
I do, yeah. It's hard to be critical, really.
I know.
They're both so beautiful.
And they're just different too, right? Like how do you compare two completely, but that's what it's like when they're competing for the crown.
Oh, for sure.
Like all these different women.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you compare?
They're obviously world class or universe class women, so, you know. I liked that Pia had her hair up. I think that, for me anyway, just looking at her, like that accentuated like her face structure, like with her hair up. I think that she just looked better, and Catriona had her hair down and she looked amazing too.
Yeah.
I feel like I keep saying this, but they both looked very good.
Yeah.
They both walked very confident, which that must be a common trait among all Miss Universe title holders.
So he doesn't have a favorite?
They're both beautiful. It's like a parent saying which child is their favorite. The dramatics.
I know.
Oh, it's in slow motion. Yeah, stunning.
I know. She has the ultimate smize.
Does she have big boobs?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you gotta think so. That dress is amazing.
I know, it's actually insane.
The people just don't look like that. Like, I don't even understand. Like, she's not a person. She doesn't exist.
Okay, gown. What are your first thoughts? What were the things that came to mind when Pia came busting out?
Again, I really like Pia's hair. And she's very beautiful again, walked like super confident, and when she came to center stage there and did that like dramatic like turn around, that was captivating and beautiful. But Catriona's dress is just so breathtaking and captivating and like just, yeah, quite nice. So again, I feel like I have to lean towards Catriona's direction.
Yeah, that's totally, that's great, that's okay.
Alright, moving on.
I'll give one brief comment. I feel like I feel like Pia's almost more like classic or something like that. Like a classic pageant, elegant. Like, not that Catriona isn't, but then I feel like Catriona took more risks.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that you could argue or say that Pia played it more safe.
Yeah,
and
in a way.
Traditional.
Right. That's what I think too.
Yeah. 'Cause you never really know how it's gonna be received.
I know.
Right? Like, I don't know. People could have not liked Catriona's dress, and that could have been detrimental to her. She took a risk.
Yeah.
It's weird like having this conversation with you and actually kind of knowing what I'm talking about. There seem to be a lot of fans there for Pia.
Earlier this year,
I think that the United States and the Philippines has always had a good relationship with each other. We were colonized by the Americans, and we have their culture in our traditions even up to this day. And I think that we're very welcoming with the Americans, and I don't see any problem with that at all.
yeah, that's pretty good. Thank you.
That's pretty good. Okay, so your initial thought on Pia's answer.
Yeah, I've definitely listened to it before, and we did like an Answers of the Decade or whatever that video was called, or Winning Answers of the Decade. So I liked how like clear and concise she was, how she like picked a side and wasn't like wishy-washy and was very to the point with it.
Right.
And I like answers like that are very concise rather than like I'm dancing around a question right now. I liked it. I liked that she was very clear and concise.
But in moderation. Thank you.
What's your initial thoughts?
Hard question.
It is a hard question. It is a hard question. I still don't
yeah.
even know what I would really say
No.
if I were in that position, and I even practiced this way back in 2016.
Yeah. So
Especially things have changed so much since then.
Definitely.
It is a hard question. That's one of the hardest questions, truly.
Yeah. I think from a law standpoint, a lot of different countries are a lot more lenient on like marijuana use now.
Right.
Whereas like back in even 2018, like it was probably seen as something that's worse than it is today, kind of a thing. So yeah, super hard question, and like it wasn't a bad answer, it just like wasn't a very clear, concise answer,
and
it's
strong
like
answer,
yeah, and it's hard to it would be hard to be like to pick a side and be like I disagree with marijuana, I think it's like a gateway drug,
right.
like say something like that. I think that you probably lose a lot more people in the audience than if you just kind of dance around the question.
Right.
So
Why should you be the next Miss Universe?
To be a Miss Universe is both an honor and a responsibility. If I were to be Miss Universe, I will use my voice to influence the youth, and I would raise awareness to certain causes like HIV awareness that is timely and relevant to my country, which is the Philippines. I want to show the world, the universe rather, that I am confidently beautiful with a heart. Thank you.
Literally gets me fucking going every time.
yeah.
First thoughts?
First thoughts, really, really good.
Yeah.
Very good. Incredibly good. Very good.
That's
It's
good.
something that she definitely had prepared, and sort of kind of lucked out that that's the question that she got. But all the credit to her for doing her homework and like being prepared, and obviously like owning that moment.
For sure.
And her execution was amazing.
Right. And I think that's one of the most common questions that you practice when you're competing for any pageant is why do you want to win?
Like, what
why
would you do with this title? What would you do with your platform? Like, what would your voice be?
Yeah, like that's like the ultimate question that you should be preparing for if you are competing. So
very good. She owned her moment.
What is the most important lesson you've learned in your life, and how would you apply it to your time as Miss Universe?
Kind of like the same question.
I work a lot in the slums of Tondo, Manila, and the life there is it's poor and it's very sad. And I've always taught myself to look for the beauty in it, to look in the beauty in the faces of the children and to be grateful. And I would bring this aspect as a Miss Universe to see situations with a silver lining and to assess where I could give something, where I could provide something as a spokesperson. And this, I think, if I could teach also people to be grateful, we could have an amazing world where negativity could not grow and foster, and children would have a smile on their face.
I like Catriona's voice.
I know,
it's
it's so
voice.
cute.
It's like likable and like cute, but like authoritative in a way too, like a little bit.
And she kind of like sings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, she kind of does. Like she like goes up at the Again, what I liked about Catriona's answer is how you could kind of put yourself like in the like slums of Manila, and like really visualize yourself being there and feel like you're kind of would be part of her journey too. Right. And not a lot of people have that ability to paint a picture like that with their words, and I think she has that ability.
Right.
So I like that about her. To give Zosie a shout out, that's really what she did this year. She was able to really, at least for me anyway, like I like imagine myself kind of in her shoes and what she's doing. So
the crownings, you know what the crownings look like. So.
Yeah. I feel like weird even talking about the crowning. I just feel like
it does. You can't compare.
Well, that, but also it's just
so awkward.
Yeah, and just weird and like I don't know. I feel bad for everybody involved. Like I even feel bad for Steve Harvey, and I don't know.
I ultimately feel bad, honestly, for PIA because she never ever got that moment.
Yeah, no.
She didn't get that winning moment, and then she's obviously ecstatic. She's excited.
But
she's
how do you
happy.
show that?
For sure, because you feel so bad for ripping the heart out of the other girl, but it wasn't your fault, right? And like she essentially got blamed for it. Anyway, I could go on and on about that as well, but
yeah, I feel bad for everybody involved, but I mean, probably the worst for PIA because that should be, and it still is probably like a moment in her life that she'll never forget, but like in a different light, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, she became one of the most famous Miss Universes around the world because of it, really.
Yeah, you're getting picked up by all different kinds of media outlets that wouldn't ever cover Miss Universe just because it is such a scandal.
And then of course, Catriona's is more traditional.
If you want to call it that.
Did you ever hear that Catriona's mom had a dream when Catriona was like 10 years old, or don't quote me because I used to know it, but something like her mom had a dream when Catriona was like 10 or 12 or something like that she was gonna win Miss Universe one day in a red dress.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy that worked out. That I know it's something to do with the Philippines in her ear, like the piece that she's wearing on her ear. She's like faced towards the camera. Yeah. But you can't, like, they both won Miss Universe, you know? Like,
I know.
Like, how can you even say anything like critical about either?
No, definitely.
Like, really, it's like hard to make that. Hard to make the comparison.
Oh, absolutely. This is more just more
it's
for
like
fun.
Thoughts,
more fun to like talk about both of them. They're both the winners from the Philippines in the last few years, and I can never get over watching these winning moments, watching them. I get goosebumps and almost nervous every single time, like regardless of these women, but any woman being called into the top, right? Even myself, every time I see the videos of myself being called, I'm like, whoa, that really happened, you know?
Sure, I hate to admit that, like, I feel the same way. Like, I get goosebumps, like, even watching this right now. I know the outcome, obviously.
I know, yeah.
It's like the same way for me, though, watching, like, old sports clips and golf, or, like, when a team wins the Stanley Cup, or, like, when Tiger Woods makes a putt on the 72nd hole to win the golf tournament, you know? It's just, like, chills. Like, every time, no matter how many times you watch it, it's kind of the same thing, but not really at all.
So. Same but different. I think there is no way you can compare these two women, but I think that we can ultimately say they're both incredible, amazing, inspiring in their own ways. They both stood out in their own ways. I don't think if you pin them up against each other in a competition, like I actually don't even know who would win.
No.
I don't know.
Be a tie.
It would be a tie. They'd share the new Miss Universe is.
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
Cool. So tell us what you guys think. Like, do you
Yeah.
have a favorite between these two women? Like, if you had to pick, had to.
If you had to pick.
And if you can't pick, then you should subscribe.
We hope you are all staying safe and healthy, because it is a scary time right now, and we just want the best for all of you. And that's something else that I think is really important for us to share, that us sharing this like fun content is to give people something to take their minds off of like what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the beautiful things about YouTube, Instagram, now TikTok, is that sometimes you can have that outlet to like watch something funny or watch something enjoyable and just kind of
Be able to escape
Yeah,
for like
definitely.
just a few moments here
Yeah.
and there, because we understand like we're not trying to
take away from
or
what's
like
happening.
not trying to joke in like this serious
Yeah.
time kind of a thing. Like we're just trying to give you an outlet to escape just for like a few minutes, you know, and forget about what's going on.
Okay, we're reaching her max. I think you've
Definitely.
done well. Good job. Yay!
Till next time.